It's hard to find the right spot. It's okay.
That's what she said.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfatt Bidge.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan The Tagless Haynes.
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
And Matt, P.R. Regan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I definitely would take the shot on it because you'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
Just shaking the rust off. Welcome into Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are your tippers. I am Mac Disfatt Bidge. We got Ryan The Tagless Haynes in the house. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. You know, it's been pretty hot up here this week and just trying to stay cool. This room is muggy as hell, though. I'm going to be sweating all episode.
Ooh, nice. You might have to.
We just came off the Top Gun episode, too. It would have been a perfect sweat situation for the Top Gun episode.
You're just going to have to give in and do your briefs and your actual briefs. It's too hot up there.
Now we're thinking.
Do it for the pod.
We'll have to make it for a bet. That's for sure. And you takers heard. Regan, IR Regan, you are in the house. How you doing, man?
Oh, great. Sleep is not all there, but it's mostly there.
Yeah, how's the little baby doing?
Oh, she's great. Thanks for asking, guys. And thanks for holding the fort down while I was gone. But mom's doing well. Big sister's excited as hell. And the baby's awesome. So can't ask for more than that.
No, that's great, man. Happy to hear it. Happy to have you back. And I'm doing well, too. Thank you for asking.
Getting there.
No one cares.
Nobody cares. Just an onion ring living in a French fry world.
Hey, some people treasure you.
Some people.
Some people hate you.
And that is also very true. It is June 14th that we are recording 2022. What is it? 88 days until football. We are at full girth right now. Full tips. Filling your ear holes. Left and right. Both of them. Same time.
Where's the third one?
Dealer's choice.
Like it.
We're going to get into two early rankings for our projected top 12. We've been doing a lot of mocks lately. Regan, you are in a slow draft for your startup dynasty. How's that going?
Keyword slow. Gotta love it. We're at almost 4 hours, 5 hours. No, 4 hours. And we got 4 picks. So,
all right.
Cruising.
Pick an hour. That's great. Nice job. But yeah, we're going to do our rankings for PPR format, standard league, and we'll get into that. But first, let us get into our tip-off question here. What do you guys, in your opinion, is more important to win your league, in a redraft that is, drafting the number one at a position? So Cooper Kupp last year, his ADP was around the 3rd, 4th round, but he was the number one at wide receiver. Or is it getting that best sleeper like Amon-Ra St. Brown, James Conner, somebody like that? What do you think is
Cooper
more of the
Kupp.
key to win? All right. Thanks, Ryan. Jumping right in there. Want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I was saying that there is an argument that Cooper Kupp was also a sleeper last year.
Not to me.
I know what you're saying, though. Late round picks. My personal opinion would be if you draft the number one at a position, you are in very, very, very good shape, especially those of us who had Cooper Kupp last year.
Yeah, and that was not me. Regan, how about you?
That was me in several leagues. Just to elaborate on Ryan's, because it's really a simple answer. That is you draft that guy in that first position, the odds are you have a better chance of getting the sleeper down the line So necessarily, you're not trying to draft a random sleeper. You're trying to draft that first guy overall. Maybe not in the first round, but at a good spot, and then take your chances later on.
Yeah, I feel like the sleepers, you got to be active on the waiver wire, and that's exactly like you're not sure if they're going to pan out, like a Cordell Patterson last year or Amon-Ra. That was a hot waiver ad. Eli Mitchell, they helped you out for a bit, but Cooper Kupp was definitely the league winner.
Now, I do think that there's an argument as to picking up the hot waiver ad before the playoffs or having the number one overall player in a position, because I seem to have the number one overall player in a position, and the hot waiver ad will outscore them in the playoffs or the championship, and it'll really piss me off.
That's a good point.
Cry about it some more.
I will.
All right, guys. Yeah, thank you. That was a little discussion I saw on Twitter the other day, so I was just curious on your guys' thoughts. So Ryan, not much news, but let's say we jump into your little banana hammock instead of your tagless brief.
Sweet sassy molassie.
Anything happening lately?
Yeah, so Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for the Commanders, holding out still. He's looking for a deal that's going to rival the one that A.J. Brown just reached with the Eagles. And the question is, does he deserve it?
Nope.
Elaborate.
Just play a contract, man. Like you haven't done that much. You're too wildly inconsistent. Let's see you actually prove it that you deserve a kind of contract like that. I don't even think A.J. Brown deserved it. But I guess since that's the market, thanks a lot to Christian Kirk. Yeah, go for your money, man. So I don't fault the guy. I don't hate the player. I hate the game.
You ruined my rebuttal. Reeks, go ahead.
Ditto. I just hate this stuff. It really kills the game when it comes to players making their own decisions and stuff like that, and it hurts the rest of the team. It makes fantasy that much harder. So I'm salty to him.
So you're suggesting the player should not make any decisions?
Nope.
Just leave it up to the GM.
You signed a contract. No, I totally understand, because once a player thinks that they did better, not saying he did do better, Terry McLaurin that is, he deserves it. Sometimes they become better than what they're getting paid for, and they should be getting paid more. We all ask for raises sometimes through the year when we think we're doing our workload a little bit more. I just want Terry McLaurin to actually bump up that workload, and then, yes, he should be doing this.
I agree with you there. We're still seeing the ripple effects of the Christian Kirk Jacksonville Jaguars signing. Like, that is just
crazy.
That has rippled through the entire league, and every receiver thinks that they're worth more than they actually should be worth. Now, the argument that I was going to have for Mac is that if you're comparing Terry McLaurin to A.J. Brown, statistically, Terry McLaurin has had more targets, more receptions in each of the last 3 years than A.J. Brown. And yes, he was hurt last year, but in two out of three of those seasons, he's had more yards, receiving yards. So the only thing he's missing is the touchdown production, which could certainly be attributed to the quarterback play. So if you're comparing A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin, I do think he should have a similar contract to A.J. Brown.
Okay.
That's the market.
I can see that, but I wouldn't hold the targets against A.J. Brown, because that's the kind of offense that the Titans have run for the past few years. Is give 30-plus carries to Derrick Henry. It's not really his fault. They both can be playmakers, though, but I don't know.
Yes.
It's go get your money. It's all right. I won't hold it against him for holding out.
The next bit of news, Hunter Renfrow does get paid. So the Raiders, somebody here put the Oakland Raiders. I don't know who that was, but you're wrong. Try to trick me there.
Trying to catch you. One of these days.
A 2-year, $32 million extension. So Hunter Renfrow has one really, really good year. $16 million a year, baby.
Wow.
Riggs, any reaction to that?
I love it. See, that's a guy that went out and did his job. It did it exceptionally well, and got rewarded for it. I think that's how it should work. That's awesome.
Who would you have given more money to, Christian Kirk or Hunter Renfrow?
Oh my God, Hunter Renfrow.
Okay, well that
It
did not
depends
happen.
it depends on the offenses, but that Christian Kirk thing is so wild.
Oh man, yeah, I'm
They
with you,
literally
Hunter
broke
Renfrow.
everything. Even like
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs got another 5-year deal or whatever. He had 2 more years left on his 5-year contract. Oh, they gave him another 2 on top of it for like $104 million or something like that. I was like, the guy's got still got 2 more years. He's getting paid what he should be getting paid, and then they bump it up because Christian Kirk's a fruitcake.
Yeah, 4-year contract extension, $104 million.
Yeah, I was kind of right. Eventually,
Christian Kirk's the man. The Jaguars are the fruitcakes.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my God,
those
Good for
Asians
him.
doing work. I said agents.
It was close. It was close.
I just like heard myself.
I'm like,
it was like sucking down an ice cube when I said that.
I know we like poking fun at stuff, but take it easy.
No.
Talk about fruitcake.
Regan and I had the same reaction. We're like, wait a second. What did he say?
Pull what up?
Agents. Okay, we're good. Yes, they did do work for sure.
Yes. We'll edit that out later. What else we got, Ryan?
All right. So last bit of news here. We might have a bit of a quarterback battle here in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob Condetta from the Seattle Times reports that Drew Lock is trailing in the quarterback competition, according to Pete Carroll. So the question is this kind of like this old school motivation tactic, or should we be preparing our Geno Smith projections? Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, it's probably going to be Geno Smith. And then after a few weeks, they'll be like, all right, let's give Drew Lock a chance. And then Pete Carroll will be fired at like week 7, whenever their bye week is happening.
So I personally think it's leaning towards Geno. Knows the offense, has already been there. He actually did fine when he played last year. He had 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 69% completion percentage. Nice. He was okay. He was like Teddy Bridgewater minus, like whatever that is.
Ryan, how does that make you feel about DK Metcalf then?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
No, he did great.
And Tyler Lockett.
He did great with Geno Smith. He was fine.
Tyler Lockett's out of my repertoire this year. I'm not even looking his way.
Yeah, but
I think
keep on dropping.
I think I'm staying away from both those guys.
Oh yeah,
both of them. I mean, obviously, like Mac and I talked about it this a little bit last week. Is everybody has their value, so you're going to draft DK at some point. You're going to draft Tyler Lockett at some point, but where their ADP is now, it just doesn't seem worth it. It seems like it's about a round or 2 off at least. And there's just better guys to pick, more consistent guys who are going to be more heavily targeted and won't have Geno Smith or Drew Lock passing them the football.
Yeah.
So,
Metcalf in the beginning of the 4th round is too early for me. You want more of that? Oh, Dynasty, he's still a top 10 wide receiver because of the potential.
Damn.
For sure. But you want more ADP too early look? Go to our last episode, Danger Zone. We
nailed it.
Talked about DK Metcalf a lot in that one.
We did. It wasn't good talk. It was a little negative, but
it was negative, but more of an outlook on our thoughts on him.
All right, and that's it for the Haynes brief.
Awesome. Thank you very much. There it is.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
All right. And Regan, do we have enough for your segment today?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's get into the Hurt Locker.
Ah! 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 Ah!
Oh, right. Lovely.
In hindsight, that's a bit too long, but
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Everyone digs it. All right, so welcome to the Hurt Locker, boys. Never a good place to be. This has been like in the news the past couple days, past 4 days. These have all come out, but we all know Jerry Jeudy went down at practice a couple of days ago. or a week or two ago. He's still dealing with that groin injury, not practicing. Just something to keep an eye on, seeing if Courtland Sutton has a better repertoire or better, workout with Russell Wilson. With Jerry Jeudy not being there, let's see what it looks like going into the, preseason. Courtland Sutton might be a little bit of a steal with Jerry Jeudy still going high, but so just keep an eye on that one. Kenneth Walker at Seattle, dealing with a hamstring injury, missing a bit of mini camp already, said Pete Carroll. Just something, to throw out there. Rashad Penny's still in front of him, but I know a lot of people are excited about him, drafting him as a rookie. And the last one, guys, is Michael Thomas, and I just had to put this because I wanted to laugh. Still not at mini camp. Ankle expected to be back in June. It's June, and I got this news today, so he wasn't there. So let's see what's going on here. But this guy, this is his last chance. I'm not going to be drafting him. I drafted him
way
perfect,
too late.
Man.
My bad.
That's all right. That literally is the Michael Thomas theme song right there, though, because it's been horrible. So I don't know. It sucks because I'm drafting right now. Hopefully the time Michael Thomas comes up, he's at practice and he's looking good, but I will not be drafting him anytime soon. So
when you get deep into your draft freaks, Jarvis Landry going like round 10, 11, 12, dynasty, maybe even a little later. Like,
because
get you some Jarvis Landry, man, just in case Michael Thomas is just continuing to battle these injuries. It would be Olave or Jarvis Landry, and Winston is going to throw to Landry.
Up numbers. He's going
to throw to Landry.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. I like it. So that's all we have. There's a couple other little things about people not participating in OTAs and stuff like that, but that's not uncommon. So that's about it for the Hurt Locker. Thank goodness.
All right. Yeah. Just wait until the season happens and they'll be packed in there.
Oh, it's going to be gross.
Michael Thomas every week.
Probably going to leave him out eventually.
Yeah. He's just a default participant there. But yeah, you want more of a look on Michael Thomas. We talked about him last episode too. Look at that, Ryan. It's like we're relevant or something on the topics. Our Danger Zone episode. But you can listen to our episodes on Apple, Spotify, and leave us a review there. It'd be much appreciated. Download the episodes, share our tips with your friends and family, Google and Amazon as well. Then you can watch us on YouTube. You want to see our lovely faces, our backgrounds, our cool ticker. We put a lot of time and effort into, hopefully to get you a laugh. YouTube, Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. And you can see these sweet drops. Player rankings, guys. Rank it up.
Nailed it.
What are you laughing at, Ryan?
It's nice, dude. Short. That was the shortest drop you've ever played, I think.
6 seconds long. Yep, that's about it. So as I mentioned at the top, that's
that's what she said.
As I mentioned at the top, we are going to go through our top 12 first round overall rankings. Way too early. These will probably change, most likely, once we get more in depth and things shake out before the season. But it's never too early to mock. So redraft, PPR, standard format, rankings. Who would like to go first with their number one pick? Regan, you may do the honors.
No surprise other than to Ryan. It's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Simple enough. No explanation needed. Stud. Definitely did not see this coming last year because I was not as high on him. Idiot.
I was. I didn't think number one overall, but I figured top 5, no problem. But yeah, weak ass division. I am a little hesitant though. Nyheim Hines, they're talking about making him more of a part of the offense. So are they going to start managing his workload?
I think that will only help him.
I think so.
Pretty big workload last year, especially towards the end.
He did. Yeah, he finished 6th in his rookie year and then 1st overall. So he should be top 3. So I don't get Ryan. Why is he not your number one?
Well, fellas, he's not my number one because my number one is Derrick Henry. You remember the guy who weeks 1 to 9 was averaging more than 4 points per game, better than any other running back in the league.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. 24 or 25 points per game for Derrick Henry compared to a Jonathan Taylor who had about 20 points per game. So he had about 130, 140 yards more than Jonathan Taylor at that point. Yep. Like Derrick Henry, if he's healthy, guys, they didn't add anybody behind him. They're not stashing anybody besides Hassan Haskins. I don't think did they bring back Foreman?
Nope.
I believe he's gone, right?
He's to Carolina.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. And they didn't bring in a guy like Darrell Williams as a security blanket. Like they have faith that Derrick Henry is going to be able to handle that workload. He's still that offense. So I'm not gonna look at injuries here. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry is the number one.
Oh yeah, I can't fault you for it. Spoiler alert: he's in our top 3. So you can take either one of these running backs that we have in the top 3, or maybe somebody else, Regan. But now you don't have AJ Brown. You brought in Julio last year as well, trying to spread the field open so people aren't stacking the box against Derrick Henry. Now, like you said, he's their entire offense. He's going to get stopped eventually.
Maybe.
Yeah. No,
maybe. Hey, Ryan, I'm right there with you. I got him as my number 2. I'm loving this. This is his first real significant injury that made him lose time in his whole career, which is an amazing feat. And this guy is a training machine. You know, he's in there getting back to strength, and he's going to come back out 100%. They're not going to. They're his. They're. Oh my God. He is their star player.
Deprived.
Did you take some time off or something?
Yeah, I did. You know, I'm working on 4 hours of sleep, up at 6 a.m. with a 3-year-old. That was cool, you know. But it's cool. It's cool.
So what was your
baby
thought?
Jesus. So Derrick Henry is their star player. They are not going to throw him in there right away, all willy-nilly, with him not at 100%. So Derrick Henry, by far, he blew me away last year with the numbers he was putting up. And if he can come back, you know, I feel like that was actually out of the ordinary just for a running back in general, Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. I don't see those numbers happening this year, but you never know. But Derrick Henry, easy number 2 for me. Ryan, number 1, I'm not going to fault you on that at all. Mac, you have him at 3? Little aggressive.
I do have him at 3 because we are doing PPR format here. So I took guys that are going to be more involved in the passing game. But like Ryan was saying, he was averaging over 25 points per game before he got hurt. They rely on him. I just don't know if defenses are going to be able to do something about it. But best thing he has going for him, a shitty division. So I like it. He might move up in my rankings. We'll see. But my guy for number 2 is Austin Eckler. He finished at number 2 last year, scoring all his touchdowns in the red zone. So I'm not afraid of him only getting work inside the 20s like he has been in the past. There's also, like Ryan, you were bringing up with Derrick Henry, there's not much of a threat of him having work taken away from him. It's a highly competitive division. They have the best defense on paper, in my opinion, in the division. So he's also a game-proof back. If they're down, they're going to use him in the 2-minute drill. If they're in the lead, they'll be running with him. So as long as he stays healthy, which, you know, fingers crossed. Plus, the coach likes to go on 4th down a lot. So creates more opportunities, averages 100 targets out of the backfield. That's why I have him my number 2 over Derrick Henry.
I love Austin Eckler. I think there's definitely a possibility that he lands the top 3 again, especially since we're talking about running backs here. And the top 10 changes so frequently with running backs, the top 5, the top 3, injuries, age, volume, all of that stuff changes year by year. So I think his ceiling is running back 2. I'm going Jonathan Taylor here. No surprise there. I do think, like what you guys were saying, like Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, you can go one over the other. Taylor, I think, Mac, you wrote this in your notes, less risky, definitely. But yeah, I'm good with taking Taylor here as the number 2 overall pick.
All right. So Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, my 1-2, Regan 1-2 for you, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, then reverse for Ryan. So Regan, you're number 3. Who do you got?
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend, Cooper Kupp. The first wide receiver off the board.
Let's see if it pays off for him.
Number 3 overall. You're taking
No surprise.
Cooper Kupp, huh?
PPR machine. He lost OBJ, lost Robert Woods, brings in Allen Robinson. Joke.
Yeah, watch out. The guy you said I wasn't trying at all last year. So that's just what you need, a guy that quit.
Lovely.
I can't believe you have him at number 3. I mean, I have him at number 4. Like you are reaching, man.
Does that mean you're reaching?
You're an
idiot. I'm joking. Ryan, you got him at number 4 as well. So you're at the number 4 spot. You're taking him then.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, remember when I said that Cooper Kupp was going to be like a wide receiver 9 this year? I don't think that aged well. I was considering Odell Beckham Jr. being in the mix with Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp and all of these guys. It doesn't look like OBJ is coming back. So I think Kupp has a repeat year. I think he's top 5.
Absolutely.
I definitely, there's definitely a possibility. His ceiling is definitely at, top 3. His floor, though, is not very far off. Top 10 easily is his floor to me. And that's what, 1 or 2 other receivers in front of him. So he finishes the 3rd overall. I'm fine with taking the 3rd overall receiver a little bit earlier in the draft to know I have a stud going up throughout the season. So get him.
Yeah, man. I mean, I really don't think Allen Robinson's going to take much away from him. He had 191 targets last season. He's got to break over 200 this year, right?
Jesus.
He can.
Very much can.
Max, who do you got at 3?
My number 3 guy was Derrick Henry. So, yeah. Number 4 was Cooper Kupp along with you. But who's your number 3 guy?
This might come as a bit of a surprise, but I think Najee takes the jump. I think he lands as number 3 here. I know that there have been reports that he's not going to be on the field on certain downs, and I just think volume. He is the man in that offense. They're probably going to have Mitch Trubisky behind center. So they're really going to there's going to be a lot of dumps to Najee Harris. He's going to get a lot of action in the passing game. The whole line still sucks, but I still think with the amount of volume he gets, he squeezes into the top 3 here.
Running back,
y'all. Yeah, I agree. I have him ranked lower than you, but Regan, I know you love Najee Harris. So what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, not going to lie, Ryan, when I was making this out, kind of doing my research in general, I had him at 4. I switched him out. I got him at 6 now. After reading about, he is going to miss some downs. He's not going to be the every down back, but being a 3 down back is also very good in fantasy. It's very hard to find somebody getting that much work in general in fantasy. And the amount of talent he had last year just shows you that he can do it. He can be the workhorse. We hear this all the time too. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna get some work cut out for him, or he's gonna do more work, and it always ends up working out to sometimes not being the truth. So needless to say, Najee Harris has the ability, he has the talent. The team kind of is turning the corner with losing Big Ben. So who really knows? That being said, this is a projection. It's an early projection. And it's honestly, it's a good projection. It can happen.
Yeah, to me, this is his ceiling. I do think he has a much lower floor than some of these other guys. I think he has a lower floor than Austin Eckler. I think he has a lower floor than even Dalvin Cook, because there's so many question marks around this offense in general, offensive line, quarterback play. So we'll see what happens, but this is wishful thinking. But I'm looking here, and I see at 5, that's when we all start to kind of go a little bit different here. So Reeks, what do you have at 5?
Oh, I got a stud. Well, just so everyone knows, at 4 I had Austin Eckler.
Sorry.
Easy enough. We already talked about him. But 5, I have Joe Mixon, guys. Averaging right above 6.5 fantasy points per game on an offense that's just getting going. I'm really excited about this guy. He's 25, I believe, in an offense that now has Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Burrow's finally getting into it, and he is just the guy in the backfield taking advantage of this open box because everyone has to cover these amazingly fast receivers. And he had his best season yet, and I think it's probably going to go up again this year. I believe he finished 6th. Don't quote me on that one, but I see him going up, so that's why I have him at 5 this year.
Yeah, Joe Mixon was running back 4 last year, actually.
4, yeah. So
yeah,
that's why I have him my 3rd. Yep. No, I have him as my 4th again, my 4th running back.
Do you guys have any concerns around the amount of volume he's had over the last 3 years and that he might be breaking down a little bit this year?
Yeah, I think last year was his peak. So I do not have him in my top 12 at all.
Ooh, on an offense like this?
I will explain later why I believe that in this offense. So, but yeah.
Okay. That's fine with me.
Ryan, yeah, I just think he hit his peak last year, and that was it.
It's cool.
So yeah, I know, and a lot of people do. But you look at the running backs that could be in the first round. I don't want to say it. I don't want to overhype it, but it's pretty stacked. But we know half of them are not going to work out to justify their first round pick. So
they never do. We all know this.
Only half of them do. Regan, come on.
Not even half.
Is it less than half? It's ridiculous,
yes.
But it's like 4. So yeah, I just going through each individual picks in my mock. I'm like, yeah, I don't want Joe Mixon. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess if there was a prime candidate to bounce out of the top 12 here, I would say it's Mixon, but I would say probably more so related to injuries because he's had so much work over the last few years, but he's primed to get that same workload this year. I mean, again, another offense that hasn't produced any or provided any upgrades to their running back 2, running back 3 to that running back room. So Samaje Perine still there, Chris Evans still there. I think Joe Mixon still will have. What did he have last year? 250 rushing attempts, something crazy like that. So, yeah, I think Joe Mixon running back. I think he's overall number 6 this year, running back 4.
Not bad. That's why. Oh, go
ahead. He had 292 rushing attempts last year. 42 receptions out of the backfield. But yeah, just what were you saying, Regan? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I totally agree with your concept and like the workload that he has had, and you probably are right about that was his ceiling last year about what he's gonna get. That being said, I think he can move laterally and produce exactly what he produced last year, keeping him at the 4. Why I have him there. When it comes to dynasty, though, I would be nervous about that workload way more, and would probably drop him 2 spots or so, or in general. But as a redraft, I feel like this year is going to be another spectacular year for him. Nothing saying he can't. He's young. As you know, like the box is now a little bit more open. We saw him do so much better last year, again, the same, if not more workload than the year before. And that's because defenses had to change it up for this explosive offense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
He got hurt the year before, but the one before that he had 278 attempts. So yeah, you're right. Like he's ticking up a bit. We saw at the back half of last season they were passing a lot more. They were trusting Joe Burrow more. And I just think he's not going to get as many opportunities. I'm around 250 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Honestly, I hear it might drop him a little bit, but to get somebody that I know are probably going to get 250 carries, I'm fine with taking that at fifth.
All right. So to recap, where are we?
Right now, so
I know we're jumping around by name. We're in the 5th round. So who do you have in your top 5?
Yeah, my top 5 guys: Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp at 3, Austin Eckler at 4, Joe Mixon at 5. Mac, what do you got at your top 5?
Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, then Christian McCaffrey. We have arrived here, number 5. Baby. So he can be the number 1 overall player and running back. Not just running back, rather, if he stays healthy. So he's only played 9 games these past 2 seasons here. But when he played 50% of the snaps in those games, he was scoring just under 28 points per game. So, Ryan, you were talking about Derrick Henry, just over 25. It was like 25 and a half. If he can do that production, I'd rather take the chance on him over Joe Mixon this early. But if you had him the last 2 seasons, I think he's just off your board in general.
Yep.
And I don't blame you.
That's what happened to me over here. So
it sucked. The past 2 years have been absolutely horrid. Before the past 2 years, obviously the past 2 years he hasn't played much. Before that, 3 years in a row, didn't miss a game. Was becoming a stud and then fell down the stairs twice. Horrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if he drops to number 5, I'm willing to take the chance on him. Who's your number 5, Ryan?
I'm going Justin Jefferson.
All right.
I'm going Justin Jefferson because he's got, I know, Mac, you made note of this, new head coach, more up-tempo offense. He's the guy. Adam Thielen's getting a little bit older. Next best option is KJ Osborne or Irv Smith Jr. Dalvin Cook getting a little bit older. So they're going to be going to JJ. They're going to be getting very creative and getting him involved. And I can foresee him having a Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp season. So Devontae Adams of 2020, Cooper Kupp of 21. I could see him taking that jump. And I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes as a wide receiver number 1.
Their new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, said that he will be their Cooper Kupp of their offense, and he's coming from the Rams. And it's just, it's a huge change. Yeah, exactly. The upside is huge here. It's a huge change from the Kubiaks with their run, pass, punt, repeat. No, sometimes they would score. All right, I'll give them credit, but it was very predictable. So I'm projecting the Vikings offense to move into the top 10. They've been around the 12 to 15 mark for red zone percentage, scoring chances, the passing. They're at like 12 in offense, and just overall they're at 15. So, I'm super high on Justin Jefferson here. So number 5, yeah, I could go either way, Christian McCaffrey or Justin Jefferson. That's why I have Justin Jefferson number 6. All right. So your thoughts on Justin Jefferson, Regan? Anything to add to that?
No, literally, I had the same quote that you had written down by Kevin O'Connell. I think that's amazing. We already saw that last year. Yes, Adam Thielen did get those touchdowns, Mac. You owe me a little something.
I got your wings. Already.
Damn it.
They were shitty, but we got to do that again.
The wings are great. Yeah. That's quite all right. But, I have him at 7, my second wide receiver off the board. And I have the Cooper Kupp and the soon-to-be possible Cooper Kupp as my top 2. So I'm fine with that.
Yep. Same for me, Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson. But yeah, number 7 for me is his teammate, Dalvin Cook. I'm expecting this offense to do much better They've been actually working him a lot in the passing game and minicamp as well. So if he didn't miss last year 2 games versus Detroit, I think his touchdown total would be much higher than number 6 rushing touchdowns overall. It would have definitely been into double digits because Detroit, they wouldn't be able to stop him. I'm actually hoping that everybody keeps on sleeping on him and he drops to the lower of the first round and in the second round, and I can get a wide receiver in the first round, one of the top 3, and then get Dalvin Cook on the way back in the second round. That'd be pretty sweet. But upside for Dalvin Cook, Ryan, where do you have him ranked? Is he even in your top 12?
Yeah, he is. He's number 8, and my web browser isn't covering his name, so I think we're good.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah,
I'm gonna edit that out later anyway. Don't worry about it.
Dalvin Cook is one of those guys who, even though he's consistently taken in the first round, he always seems to drop below where he's supposed to be picked and where he actually ranks. So I also feel like Dalvin Cook's going to have a really big year, and I have him at number 8. I have your boy C-Mac at 7, just because he's got the talent. 28 points per game. Can't beat it. Now he's got to play more than 3 games.
Yeah, we got to see in preseason, like, is he looking good? Is he healthy? And if there's any red flags, then he's dropping. He's dropping for me. Christian McCaffrey, that is. And Dalvin Cook, I suppose. We'll see. All right. Anything to add for Dalvin Cook there, Regan?
No, I also have him at my 8. He's been seen. I don't know if you had mentioned him, Mac, but he's been seen playing slot in the
all right.
In the wide receiver formations, the bunch formations and whatnot. So he should be getting some more looks at the in the passing game. That seems to be a part of this offense and the kind of change up of just running it like you were saying all the time. So I'm very excited about that. The only problem is, like you guys said, he seems to be dropping at every draft, even though you think he should be better. That's probably because he hasn't finished the whole season ever.
Nope.
Ever. And
it's
that
rare.
kills me. I'm all set.
Oh. You're all set, but you have him at number 8.
Just handcuff. That's all.
His ceiling is up at number 8. The problem is, the thing is, if something happens like you said, that he falls late first, early second, I am snagging him because that is a steal. But anything other than that, I'm all set. I have him at 8, and I don't even know if I take him at 8. now seeing this, I'm like, you probably could have pushed him back. Problem is, I have Christian McCaffrey behind him.
So he ranked 6th in 2019, 2nd in 2020, and last year 16th. So he really didn't pay off for that first 3 picks of your first round, but only 6 touchdowns. I can't believe he's going to be worse than that. He's got to get into double-digit touchdowns, and when he does that, he's a top 5 running back.
And what were the first 2 finishes you said? 19 and 20?
He was 6 overall, or 6 running back, and number 2 running back.
Yeah, so like I said, he's never finished a season yet. He finished 2nd and 6th.
Missing 2 games those seasons.
Yep.
All right. So let's move this along a bit quicker here. Number 8 for me is Devontae Adams.
Baby, yeah.
Is traded for, got paid. Josh McDaniels, I know I've been talking shit about the Raiders. I'm coming around, though. A lot of reports of NFL writers are interviewing him, going around, watching their practices. He's building a great culture there. The players seem to love it. So I think he's learned from his mistakes. So, but Ryan, remember when you were trash talking Regan for how Carr and Devontae Adams were college teammates? Remember how you shit all over his point there? Well,
I do remember that. Yes.
Well, tip fight. I'm siding with Regan here. They got him in there. They're going to be throwing the ball to him 175 to 200 times.
Wow.
He's deadly in the red zone. That's where they need him.
Yep.
Top 3 wide receiver for me again. He's been top 3 out of the 3 of the last 4 years. So I've said 3 way too many times, messing myself up there. So number 8, Davante Adams for me. You guys have Dalvin Cook at number 8, so we're right around there. Any thoughts on Davante Adams? What?
I agree with everything that you're saying.
Oh,
which is why I have Davante Adams as number 9.
Ooh, look at that. Number
and Reeves,
9.
I think you're right. I think there's that Fresno State Mountain West magic. I think they're gonna come back. That connection's gonna be it's gonna be like riding a bike.
Hey, that first year it always helps not knowing somebody, actually having a little bit of some chemistry. But I guess I'm the lowest on him, but I still have him in my top 10. I have him at 10. And I'm pumped about him, and I could easily move him up. I have at 8 and 9 Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and we've already talked about those guys. So I could easily move Davante Adams up there. But like we said, Christian McCaffrey's ceiling and Dalvin Cook's ceiling is so high that running backs are tough. I got to have him in front of Davante Adams for me.
I know for a fact that if this were a draft and you had the 8th pick and you had the decision between Cook, McCaffrey, and Davante Adams, you would not go Cook or McCaffrey.
It's so true.
No, you
It's so true.
definitely would. I don't.
My bad.
I wouldn't blame you, but
No.
yeah, I'm projecting like a Stephon Diggs when he went to Buffalo. He got number 3 wide receiver. I'm projecting something similar for Davante Adams here. All right, so Regan, Christian McCaffrey down to number 9. I think we talked about him enough, but
Yeah.
then you have Davante Adams at number 10. Number 9, Davante Adams for you. Then number 10, you have Austin Eckler all the way down here, Ryan. Explain yourself.
I sure do. I think this was more of I'm all over the map here. I think this is more of a health risk. I do think that he has had a lot of work over the last 2 years. He's a very small running back. Usually those guys don't hold up very well. And you have the added competition of adding Isaiah Spiller to the mix.
Yes.
So I think that he is going to take some of that early down work from Austin Eckler. Eckler I don't think he loses a lot of work, but when Melvin Gordon was there, Melvin Gordon had the early down work. Austin Eckler had the third down passing game work. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens there. So I love Austin. Ceiling 2, floor 10 for me.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, Ryan. Real quick, he was the workhorse back last year because they didn't have a good number 2. Now, I don't think Spiller is going to come in right away and be that, the guy that steals away some carries early in the year. But second half of the year, he's going to be coming in. He's going to be coming strong, and I feel like he is going to take some. And then, God forbid there be an injury. I hope there isn't, but like we said, he's getting a lot of work. Now, he honestly hasn't missed a lot of time other than last year, and that was the one year he was the workhorse back. And I think that's why the team goes ahead and, tries to make that.
Last. Missed 6 games. No, he only had COVID last year. The year before is the one.
Oh, is that why? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, in general, that's when he missed time. So,
yeah, he missed. He only played 10 games that year.
Oh, gross.
Yeah,
man, COVID messes up everything, even my stat talk.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You're all good, dude. I know. It seems like we've been in 2020 for like 3 years now.
You haven't?
No, you haven't.
Thought the government was just like, let's just keep it going.
Let's just throw away your calendars, man. Yeah, I actually have Najee Harris at number 9. I know we're bouncing around a lot here. Takers, forgive us, but this is how we do it. We just are throwing our thoughts around. Yeah, I know. But Najee Harris, the reason I have him at number 9 is he doesn't have those big boom games that are going to really win you weeks. He's the more consistent back, which I like. They're hopefully upgrading their offensive line. They got some new guys in there. But it's, I don't know. Who's going to start, Pickett or Trubisky? I really don't think it's going to help him out either way. Any difference. So just any quarterback, doesn't matter. he's still going to be in the game, and hopefully quality over quantity on his reps. I think he was like 13% more snaps than any other running back in the league last year. So yeah, they do need to manage his workload a bit. Just be out there on the important snaps. That's all we care about.
It makes you feel better. Big Ben wasn't putting up much quality last year, so.
When was the last time he did? It's definitely not some quality beef there.
I like it.
I think I'm hoping for
Thank you.
Week 3 of last year, Najee had 19 targets and 14 receptions. So I'm hoping for more of those outings from Mitch Trubisky. Just like, where's Najee? I just need my safety option.
That was the week I came back and said, "Told you guys."
Yep.
We'll see. Right. So yeah, number 10 for me is Travis Kelce sneaking in here at the number 10 spot here. I want that tight end to lock it up here. I'm trying to bring up my notes on him. I am sorry. I know I said that Mark Andrews is going to take the throne, but doing some more research on Kelce and with Tyreek Hill gone, I believe he's going to be even targeted even more. He's always getting 135 plus targets. I bet he's going to get 150, over 100 receptions, and hopefully in the double-digit touchdowns again. He did miss one game last year because of COVID, and he was only 39 points behind Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews just had a freak year last year. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to take the more consistent tight end here at number 10 and lock that spot up. Ryan, you do not have Travis Kelce in your top 12 at all.
I don't.
Why?
I don't know. I have nothing against Travis Kelce. I don't know what that offense is going to look like yet. Like I understand he's going to probably have a lot of targets. He's still going to be. I'm projecting he's going to be tight end 1 as well. I just see more of a ceiling with my last 2 guys here.
We definitely don't see that at all. You're an idiot. We'll get to that in a second, though. But Regan, you have Travis Kelce, number 11. You like him, number 1 tight end this year again, or getting back to that spot anyway?
Yeah, it's the first time since 2016 that he wasn't number 1 and he was number 2. So that's okay. I'm fine with that. He's obviously getting a little bit older, but the guy's still a tank. He still plays a full season every single year for the most part. And now that they lost Hill, like you said, Mac, they are going to have plenty of targets to pepper him with on top of what he was already getting. He's going to be the number 1 red zone target as usual. So it's simple enough. Honestly, I thought when I put him in this list, I thought I was going to be the only one that threw him in there, but I'm glad you are thinking the same thing, Mac.
Yeah, I just can't see him not being a first-round pick again.
It's the tight end too. The value
exactly.
In first round. If you can get somebody that you can literally plug in, leave the entire season other than a bye week, is absolutely amazing. And getting wide receiver points.
Absolutely, streaming tight ends suck.
The worst. It's so stressful.
It is. Ryan, recap your top 10 for me, please.
Sure. Top 10. I have Derrick Henry, number 1, Jonathan Taylor, 2, Najee Harris, 3, Kupp, 4, Jefferson, 5, Joe Mixon, 6, C-Mac at 7, Dalvin Cook, 8, Davante Adams, 9, and Austin Eckler, 10.
Nice.
And now,
that's
where it gets interesting.
Regan. Yeah, no, it does get interesting. It gets real stupid. Regan, your top 10, please.
So 1, Jonathan Taylor, 2, Derrick Henry, 3, Cooper Kupp, 4, Eckler, 5, Mixon, 6, Najee Harris, 7, Justin Jefferson, 8, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey at 9, and to finish off at 10, the great Davante Adams.
I like it. Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Davante Adams, Najee Harris, and Travis Kelce round out my top 10. Now, Ryan, please embarrass yourself for the takers.
Yeah, this is where it gets gross.
Number 11, Saquon Barkley. I think he gets back into the top 12. We already we already talked about this. There are always surprises that jump into the top 12. There's no reason why Saquon Barkley can't be that guy. I understand he has his injury past. He still played in 13 games last year. And the kicker for me is that he had almost no touchdown production last year. And I don't think that's going to be the case this year. And when he did get into the end zone, that's where you saw the difference. Week 3, 21 fantasy points. Week 4, 29 fantasy points. I think that's what you probably see more of Saquon Barkley this year. And he was more involved in the passing game in those games as well.
I just find it tough I want to look this stat up to find, a running back that was a predominant, top 5, top 3, whatever running back that was already established in that point. Then to leave the top, whatever, it's like 60 because he's been horrible for a couple of years and then come back to the top 10, top 11. I would love to see that stat. So that's something I want to look at. I'm not saying his ceiling is not at 11 because it actually is. There's no one there fighting him. He's an amazing talent. He's just he got screwed the past couple of years, which sucks.
Their whole offense sucks. Go ahead. No, I'm just saying their whole offense sucks. So I'm all out.
I mean, I think the offensive line has improved with Evan Neal. We talked about this last week. Andrew Thomas had a really good year last year at left tackle, and they got some new guys in the middle that we have to see what they got. And I do think year 2, Kadarius Toney, he showed a lot of flashes last year. I think that passing game can be a little bit more improved. I'm just saying Saquon certainly has top 12 talent and ability. Freaks, I'd have to look that up to see if there's anybody else that has bumped back into the top 12 after having a few years of injuries. But yeah, I'm going Saquon 11 here. Sticking to it.
How many years of injuries? Just 1 or 2?
Feels like 17.
Well, no, he had. He played 13 games last year, but the offense was just bad. And Joe Judge
that's the thing. The team should do better, but they've been ranking 25th and lower. We went through that in our last episode. But if you miss a lot of games, I can understand. Like Christian McCaffrey, you want to take that shot on him, but like you said, 13 games, and we can't see him be his old self. So I just don't think it justifies a first round pick. I'd probably take more of a chance on him than Zeke, though.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll give you that. But all right, so that's your number 11. Regan, you have Travis Kelce as your number 11. We talked enough about him. And I am surprised at this one, guys. I have Jamar Chase at number 11. Why didn't he crack your top 12, Regan? You hate him now?
No, quite a lot of catches he grabbed and then took it to the house. He didn't have a lot of red zone targets compared to what he produced. I just felt like he was more of a boom or bust player. Now the thing is, his boom games were absurd and also fun to watch. But needless to say, he could definitely move in. His ceiling is definitely above 11, if you ask me. I have him, right behind Justin Jefferson in my head. But the floor is a little bit lower compared to 11. So,
All right, Ryan, you don't like him? You hate him now?
I don't hate Jamar Chase. I think he is probably like top 7 receiver. I'm with Reeks though, like a little bit of boomer bust, and then there's just a lot of competition. That's all. You got T. Higgins there, Tyler Boyd's still there, Joe Mixon's going to take some targets away. Uzama had some flashes. No, he's gone. He's with the Jets.
With the Jets, yeah.
That's right. Is it Sample?
No, it's not Sample.
We haven't done our divisional breakdown, so I'm not 100% up to date on everyone's depth chart. But my point is that
Hayden Hurst is the other guy that they got. Yeah,
Hurst.
You're right. Drew Sample's there too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's all talk at the same time.
The tight ends will take away targets. Hurst, it will take away some targets. So I think volume is going to be somewhat capped.
And Joe Mixon, remember.
And
he
Mixon,
did mention
yes.
him, but what I was saying why I'm out
That was a
on
dig
Joe
at you.
Mixon. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. He was number 5 wide receiver last year, guys, and that was after skipping a whole season the year before in college, holding out because he was scared or something. But now he has more experience. He can actually see the ball. Remember that whole scare?
Oh, that was the
white
worst.
lights. That annoyed me. And I was out on him last year, but I'm banking on him this year. They're going to get the ball in the playmaker's hand. I just think it'd be stupid to not think that he's another top 5 wide receiver in that range again. More experience, a better game plan. Like I said, they're throwing the ball more at the back half of the season. And you're right, Ryan. T. Higgins, he does get more targets per game than Jamar Chase, or Regan was saying that. See, I just think they're going to, the passing attack, 40 passing attempts a game by Joe Burrow.
Oh, definitely.
But he was like around 30, and then it moved up to 40. So I just think there's going to be more opportunity for him.
I had him at 13, if that makes you feel better.
I had
him at 12, and I was like, I'm going to kick him back a little.
The last two were definitely hard to rank.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Ryan. He seems so set in his ways with Barkley at number 11. All right. So, Ryan, who do you have at number 12 here?
12, I'm going CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
And I'm always like an advocate for volume, and this guy has zero competition, at least at the beginning of the season. Mac's gonna argue because he loves James Washington. Whatever reason.
Dalton Schultz.
He's
Dalton
like
Schultz.
James Washington, 100 targets. He's the man. He developed the Cosby voice in the middle of that too. But Tolbert, Washington, Gallup, like yes, Dalton Schultz will get his targets as well. But you're talking about an offense that's going to pass the ball 375 times or something crazy like that. So I suspect that CeeDee Lamb's going to get. If we set the over under at targets at 165, I would say over and into the 170s.
Did you say passing 300 and something times?
Yeah, probably more than that, right?
Yeah, like we tried just under 600 for Dak.
That's what I meant.
I got you. But 300 targets going to CeeDee Lamb.
You meant completions.
I got you.
I think 170 plus targets going to CeeDee Lamb.
Bro, Dak had 410 completions last year. That's crazy.
Good for him. All for like 3 yards.
Yep. And now they're all going to CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz. So he's going to have 205 receptions, and Schultz will have 205 receptions.
And they paid Michael Gallup, though, so when he gets back and healthy. Right. But, yeah, definitely at the beginning of the season, I do like CeeDee Lamb here. So I'm not going to say you're too stupid for that, like your Barkley take. But
well, and here's the thing about Gallup, too, taking away targets. Gallup's a speedster. Like he's not going to be a guy that's like taking targets away from him. He might take some touchdowns away from him, but yeah, I like CeeDee.
I get it. Like I said, Amari these last two were hard to rank, but yeah, like you're saying, Regan, Amari gone now, so he's the guy. And you want that number 1 guy on the offense. That's why I want Stephon Diggs at the number 12 spot here. For me, Regan, you have him the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I struggled between him and Swift if I wanted a number 1 running back or Stephon Diggs, but I think I'm going to go wide receiver. But you just go back to back here at the turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, taking the number 1 on a team, top 5 offense, and the target share, he's a stud. He's just getting the bulk of it. Gets over 160 targets, so hopefully they connect better, especially in the red zone. A little bit of a struggle last year compared to what we're used to. So it was like 300 yards less than the year before, doing some research on it. So I'm expecting a bounce back this year. So let's see. Oh, and I hope that their defense doesn't play so well, creating those short fields and therefore giving them less yards. So hopefully that happens. Regan, your top 12 You got Diggs here.
Yeah, so just in general, top 12, Stephon Diggs. I'm sorry. So he finished last year as the 7th wide receiver on the year in PPR. And I have him as my 4th wide receiver right now. Mac, I think you're kind of pretty close, 4 or 5. The players in front of him last year, Cooper Kupp, Javonte Adams, Justin Jefferson. Obviously, we have them. All 3 of us pretty much have them in front of him. The other 3, Deebo Samuels, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. I could see all 3 of those falling behind Stephon Diggs. Deebo, because of his situation in San Fran, quarterback-wise, him wanting to play-wise, all the above. Last year being the first year he proved anything whatsoever, even when in high school, because he's always injured. Tyreek Hill now in Miami, and Jamar Chase. That he's the only one that I kind of be like kind of questioning it. But I feel a little bit better about Stephon Diggs being in the system for the past. This is going to be the 3rd year, I believe. And it's a high-powered offense. Really excited about that offense in general. That's why just the consistency is going to be there no matter what every single game. And it's not a boom or bust situation like Jamar Chase. So what I'm saying is Stephon Diggs could easily be the number 4 on the season, and I'm fine with taking him at 12.
I think he could make it to number 1 if they come on a revenge tour and play like they played in the playoffs there. But we'll see. Ryan, is he just able to get like number 14 overall for you? Where's he at for your rankings?
Stephon Diggs, I'd say it's tough because you guys are making really good arguments for a lot of these guys. I think Stephon Diggs is, again, probably top 15 overall player. And it's same thing, like ton of targets. He's going to get a ton of work. And,
on a great offense.
Yeah.
Very true. All right. Well, thank you guys. That was fun. Our way too early rankings here. We will post these on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Just a Tip, FFP. Search us there. Give us a follow. Be much appreciated. You like memes? Go to Instagram. You like polls? Go to Twitter. If you like everything, just go to Facebook. Just a Tip, FFP. Get our tips and more.
I thought your whole polls comment was going to go somewhere totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, she told me no.
Sorry.
Anyway. That's it, boys. We are done. Do you have anything for the leftovers here, Regan? Or you want to go last? What do you want? You want to go first?
I just don't want to talk about the Celtics.
Oh, you don't want to mention that?
I don't want to mention
they shut down Curry and they still can't win. Ugh, that sucks. Huh?
God damn, Wiggins, pain in my ass. I hate not James Harden. Green. Oh my God, I absolutely hate him.
Draymond.
Draymond Green.
I hate the whole team. Man, it's so bad. Actually, I like Wiggins.
Annoying.
He kills it. Klay Thompson gets all excited, finally hits a 3, runs across the court after hitting a 3 to talk shit to the Celtics bench. I was like, dude, take it easy.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Celtics are better with the pressure on, so we'll see.
Dude, these refs too are like, I don't even know. I felt like they helped the Celtics this last game, and they still couldn't do anything except the technicals. Like the first 2 plays of the game, Draymond Green traveled, but they didn't call anything.
No,
come on.
They haven't called the travel the whole series.
They really called one on Tatum, and we were like, I was like, come on, you got to call it both ways then.
Did you see the video of Marcus Smart lifting his arm and Poole is right there, but he's already past him, and then he's just grabs his face and falls down to the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't Poole. I forget his name.
Oh, it wasn't Poole.
Well, PJ.
Who cares?
His dad used to play. But yeah, he hits him in the chest, and he just
Gary Payton Jr.
The Gary Payton Jr. That's who it was.
I knew it was a P. My bad.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm sorry. I'm not up to date with my
should
Warriors
be the NFA,
roster.
The National Flop Association. It's gross.
Nice one.
Gross.
Ryan, you got anything for the leftovers?
No, I think I'm good. Red Sox are in that 3rd wild card spot. So I just found out about the expanded playoffs in baseball, which I think is an absolute joke. So
everybody makes it. Everybody can get in.
It's
Right,
like that
everybody that
shitty
this-
fantasy league that somebody just opened and everyone gets in except for like two teams.
Yeah, every team that's competitive is going to get in now. That's what's going to happen. Because 7
even if
on
you're not.
in a baseball league, no, they're not. Yeah, exactly.
So Orioles and Angels, you're not allowed in, but everybody else, fair game. Oh, and Phillies. All
Mac, you
right.
got anything, buddy?
Do I have anything? Yeah, Amazon Prime's coming out with the terminal list in a couple weeks. Jack Carr, former Navy SEAL, written a bunch of books and starring Chris Pratt. It looks pretty cool, man. So it's gonna be pretty violent. If you like those military type espionage, spy, thriller shows, should be pretty good. So look for that in a couple weeks.
You guys watching The Boys?
After the
I haven't
first...
seen season 3 yet.
Okay, after the first 10 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm tapping out.
Son of a...
You'll see. You'll see.
I
why.
haven't seen that one either.
Just watch.
Oh man, I love the concept. The concept's so amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
All right, boys.
Just that first kill. Yeah, we got on long enough.
You know who likes The Boys? Max.
Oh no. Good night,
These
takers.
boys.